I'm going to call the St. John Township meeting September 16, 2025, 7 p.m. to order. Let's do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mike, can you roll call for me?
Yes. Lisa Elder,
Present.
Michael Quigley here, Eric Stanich,
Present.
Kathy LaRue,
Present.
Adam Sevia,
Here.
and Tom Van Fleet, Deputy Chief, Lake Hills Fire Department.
Here.
Is here.
Okay, thank you for that. We're going to move on to our reports, our fire department reports. We have Lake Hills Fire Department August 2025 financial reports and August 2025 calls and your EMS reports.
I want to point out that tonight you're just going to review and accept the calls and EMS reports. There was apparently the board chair who does the reconciliations. There were some issues with one of the accounts, trying to reconcile it. So I just said, let's just go ahead and table that until the next meeting in October.
Okay, so calls for the August 2025, we had 13 of our own ambulance calls, 1 fire assist, 2 crash with injuries, 4 fire mutual aid St. John, 20 EMS mutual St. John, mutual aid Cherville Fire 2, mutual aid Cherville EMS 10, mutual aid Cedar Lake 4, mutual aid Lake Ridge 1, mutual aid Dyer 1, mutual aid Hobart 1, mutual aid Gary 1, special assignments 2. 68 calls for the month of July, 468 total for 2025, which I just looked, we're at 494 now.
Oh, wow.
So we've had quite a few already for September. That's going well. The EMS activity report is in your packet also. I know that on the EMS side of things, I talked to our biller. There's something with one of the clearinghouses, so that there's an issue with, so she's working on that. So Medicare and Medicaid payments are backed up a little bit until that gets straightened out.
And Tom, some of the numbers, you know why they're written in?
That I do not know, no. I haven't seen the report because Steve had sent it to you before.
I can,
Oh, you do, Sandra?
yeah, well, as far as the bottom, where it's the total outstanding accounts,
Can you?
there's an old system and a new system, and
Oh.
so she said that's both numbers, and so that is the total though, the 30,000. I'm sorry, 302,076.
That's that number that you had brought up that you don't like, and I don't like it either. I still
Or the
gotta figure
outstanding
that
amounts
out.
receivable.
Yeah, I still gotta figure that one out. But I think that's, I don't want to speak because I don't know for sure, but I think that's like just what total's been billed since day one. So, but like I said, I don't want to speak for that because I'm not 100% sure on that.
So Tom, the EMS, where you have it listed on your call reports, EMS, St. John 20 and Cherville 10. Now that includes ALS and BLS, right?
Correct.
But according to your activity report, your ALS has really increased. In your ALS, you had a lot more ALS transports than you did with BLS.
Correct. A lot of the calls that when we go to them out of town, a lot of them are usually ALS calls. That's determined by the paramedic on how it's, and protocols. So
It looks like you've been providing a lot of ALS support to
yes,
St. John and Cherville.
yes,
Wow.
yes. Just like everybody else, they're short. I know that Cherville's on a minimum staffing right now. I don't know any details about that. So they're, I think they run 2 ambulances a shift. St. John usually has 2, sometimes they're down to 1, and occasionally they're down to 0, which when they're down to 0, then an ambulance call that comes in comes to us first.
Okay, I'm gonna accept the August calls and the EMS report as a matter of record. And then we have,
Yeah, so before we go to my report, there was an incident that had happened regarding a Facebook post that Lake Hills was involved in. And it was, someone put out that they had an interaction with Lake Hills, and it has received negative comments. I know, it was sent to me, not only by the chair, Lisa, but also someone else sent it to me. And I spoke with Chief Mahalik about that, and he was not, he is out of state for a planned vacation. And so he emailed Tom and myself a statement regarding this. So we're gonna, Deputy Chief Van Vliet is gonna come up and read it and then answer any questions. Okay.
Okay, the email reads, good morning. On the evening of September 12th, excuse me, I was made aware of a Facebook post by a few of my staff. The post stated, this would be the person that was posting it. So I am driving down the street today and see a body laying on a porch of a house. So I turned around to go back. It's an older lady. I woke her up, helped her sit up a bit, couldn't get her to her feet. It was 3 houses from Lake Hills Fire Department, so I ran there. There's some missing here. They wouldn't let me in or do anything unless I dialed 911. Closed door on me. So I called 911, got their dispatch to go there. It was 85, I'm going to assume the address. 85 degrees, I'm sorry, outside. She was laying in the sun with a heavy sweater on, sweat on. Yeah. Hope she is okay. There appeared to be a lot of other issues there. Hope police came and got her the help. I'm not happy with Lake Hills Fire Department when you get resistance when you are trying to trying to save someone. I'm reading ahead too much. Doesn't seem right to me. At that point, I went to the fire station to this is Steve now talking. That was the end of the post. I'm sorry. Chief Mahalik. At that point, meaning Chief Mahalik, went to the fire station to investigate the situation. Upon talking to the part-time staff, they stated that a citizen came to the door to inform them a lady had fallen on her porch on Austin Avenue, but he was unsure of the proper address. The staff said that they would go to scene, but asked the civilian to report it to 911, and he said he would. The ambulance crew was getting ready to go to scene before they were dispatched. The crew stated that the reporting party was very pleasant and agreed to show them where the person was since the proper address was not known, and then thanked the ambulance crew. I cannot go into many details about the patient due to HIPAA laws, but will say that the patient is seen by us frequently, and the family is aware of the situation with her and is in the process of taking care of it. I did not read through some of the comments, and according to my crew's statement and the video footage, the civilian statement do not coincide. One statement was that the person at the door would only open the door 6 inches and would not let him in. In the video, meaning our surveillance video or our closed circuit cameras that we have at the station, the staff had the door all the way open and was outside talking to him. The Lake Hills Fire Department does not have, or does have a policy that has the personnel contact dispatch when there is a walk-up at the station. The MT on duty was one of our newer employees and not completely aware of the policy. To rectify this situation, there will be a policy review and all employees and volunteers will be given the policy and sign that they have read it. Please let me know if you need anything else. Stephen Mahalik, Fire Chief. So, any questions?
So was there there was a few negative comments? This was on Facebook?
I haven't read
About
it.
106
I only
negative
had it
comments.
sent to me. I don't know how many negative comments there were.
Is this
About
Facebook?
106,
Facebook?
yes. On the Cheryl St. John page.
So,
Why was it on the Cheryl St. John page? Any idea?
St. John Dyer,
The person that posted it, the gentleman that posted it, apparently lives right there. He was leaving, he's retired and was leaving to go get lunch and saw her and posted it on this page. And then all these negative I mean, and obviously it was one-sided. It was his version of it. There was not another version as we are hearing tonight, the second version of this.
Yes, Chief Mahalik and myself discussed this in length about whether we were going to put a statement. And we felt that anything that we put out there could have been taken confrontational. And so we just did not want to place a comment on that page. We have been checking our Facebook page daily and our messenger, and we have not received one comment or message in regards to this matter on our personal Facebook page.
Are you guys going to post this letter, Steve's response on your Facebook page?
We can, yes, if we were kind of like not exactly sure how we were going to move forward, but yes, we can post this on our page.
Well, I think Kathy and I kind of talked about this a little bit today and thought maybe that might be best just for Lake Hills to post the response.
yeah, so it's not for us to tell you what
Right.
to do.
Yeah,
But in my, for me and then what we were discussing is it might be to your advantage not to and this is not legal advice, but not to get into the debate on the actual post, but maybe on that
Just a
actual
statement.
post, make a statement saying, please refer to the official statement by Lake Hills Fire Department on the
their
Facebook page. And then on there, similar to what he did here, put in response to a Facebook post and then make your statement. Here is a statement regarding that. And just, that, again, that's up to you. What, when you get
Yeah,
into these Facebook pages, they could be debating
Yeah.
it forever, but if
And-
you just make a statement.
we have a lot of people from a lot of different departments in our station, and each department has a different policy. So we just gotta, like he said here, we're gonna make sure that our newer staff and remind our older staff what our procedure is.
But the thing of it is based on what Chief had put in here, they were already going to the scene when
Yeah,
they were being
they were getting ready. We did look at the video in full, from the time the gentleman pulled into the parking lot till the ambulance left. I do believe the duration was a total of 10 minutes. So it was probably 3 or 4 minutes for him to explain, 1 to 4 minutes with 911, which would be 8 minutes, and then we were out the door. To be honest with you, if you would have stayed at the house and called 911, it may have saved a minute or 2, but probably not a lot of time, because by the time he called and explained everything. But most of us at the department, and like he said, we do have a policy that if we have a walk-up, especially if the patient's physically on the property, that we call in, and start the call. Even like in this case, if we didn't have the exact address, follow the gentleman, which he did, like Chief Mahalik said, he did leave, go back to the house, the ambulance got there, and he helped, and he made sure that we knew where she was and everything like that.
And at the time that he came, you had an EMT there as well as a paramedic?
Correct, yes.
So you were able to respond right away?
Correct. Yeah, as soon as the call populated, we responded.
Did you end up getting the help you needed? I can't say.
Yeah, we took care of her, yes.
Okay, yeah.
I don't have any questions or anything. I appreciate you clarifying that and Chief Malik clarifying that for us. So if we have any questions or anything else.
Feel free to reach out to either one of us, and we'll be more than happy
Thank you.
to answer those questions, and we'll take an advisement what you suggested, and probably will. Like you said earlier, Chief Mahalik's out of the state. He will not be here till next week, so we probably will not do anything until when he gets back into town. So we're early next week. We'll have him do that.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna move on to our trustee report. Kathy?
Yeah, so Deputy Chief Van Vliet he has to head out. You did, I forgot though, Assistant Chief.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. Just so the board knows, Assistant Chief Egerbrecht has resigned from the fire department for personal reasons. That was effective September 2nd. So he is no longer with us. Assistant Chief Matthew Mahalik has kind of stepped up and is going to do some of his responsibilities. Obviously not all of them, because he had his own. And then we're going to kind of divvy out the rest of the stuff, which will probably end up going to me or Steve, Chief Mahalik. So just so you're aware.
And I had attended the Lake Hills meeting in September because I just wanted to be there and clarify and answer any questions about what it looks like, how the Senate bill is affecting our fire fund. So I attended, and at that time you read his resignation.
Yes.
But you were making him an honorary member as
Correct.
well.
Right.
Which means he can come back at any time,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, so we're hoping in the future that, whatever most of the time in a volunteer setting, it's a family thing. You need more time at home versus fire department. So hopefully when his children get a little older and things, he'll be able to come back. We have very understanding spouses, let me tell you. I just started my 24th year there, and I've missed a lot of meals and holidays and stuff because, which, the family's proud of, but, sometimes it is stressful on, our spouses, our significant others, our children to not be there. And I don't know what his reasoning was, but I've seen a lot of people over the years have to leave for those kind of reasons, so.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
I just have two things. Next week, myself and the Township Assistant staff will, 3 of the 4 will be attending the Indiana Township Association Conference. And we will leave early Monday morning and return Wednesday afternoon. So we'll be there. And I also wanted to let you know, Thomas Berg from Christopher Burke Engineering sent me an email yesterday, and he said that the plan was to seed at the cemetery this week. So with the cemetery and all of the sand that's on top, he was recommending that we seed it in the fall, so that this way it helps that sand from continuing to erode there, besides, us having to do this retaining wall. But the top is very sandy conditions. So they will work on getting seed, and there are specifics of what they use for that type of conditions. So, but because of the temperatures being as warm as they are, it's rescheduled to be completed in the next couple of weeks. So you'll start to see that, and hopefully we'll start to at least get some grass more on the top. And that's it for my report.
Okay. We're going to move on to the attorney report.
I have nothing to add beyond just reiterating from the study session that everything's in order for the budget year.
Okay. Anything from the board reports? Anyone?
No.
Okay, no board reports, so we're going to move on to our 2026 budget public hearing.
You're going to open the hearing and call for comments 3 times. I know it's a crowded gathering.
Okay. All right, I'm going to open for public comment. Public comment. Any public comments?
And you close the hearing.
Okay, then I'm going to close our public hearing. And we're going to move on to old business. Approval of our August 26, 2025 board meeting minutes.
Make a motion for approval of August 26th, 2025 board meeting minutes.
Second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries 3-0. We're going to move on to new business, the August 2025 financials.
I want to point something out. You have before you the Trust Indiana and Centaur Bank. And as you know, when you look at the Tom's report, the fund balance sheet, they're the same numbers, they balance. So, that's always important to look at, and it's all good. But what I did want to point out to you is if you look at the Trust Indiana on the first page, you will see that in the month of August, I had actually, so when I set up Trust Indiana, I could put whatever dollar amounts I wanted to put in any account. And so now that we are taking more of a reduction in our general fund because of this new bill, Senate Bill 1, I went ahead and I moved $250,000. You'll see withdrawal from the Cume Fire, and it was added to the general fund. So that this way we can accrue more interest in the general, which is what we will be needing.
Okay, I'm going to accept the August 2025 financials as a matter of record. I'm going to move on to the August 2025 Township Assistant Report.
And Sandra can explain more if you would like, but her and I reviewed this, and if you look at, we had a low, it was a quiet month in August, which was very good because this has not been a quiet month at all. This half the month, and people are coming, there's a lot of appointments. But it was a quiet month, but then you look and see in line 7, total value of benefits provided through efforts of township staff from sources other than township funds. $19,253. The majority of that was because there was school drive and school supplies were distributed to the kids. And Sandra, we had how many children? Was it 100 and, oh, I had it down and I didn't bring it
No.
down. Like somewhere between 126 and 150. Or was it 200?
No, I thought it was at like 216, because we had some stragglers.
Okay.
216 now.
So, okay, so we had a large number of kids, and so when you look at that, that's where the majority of it came from. Yeah, you're right, I think it was around 200.
Good job.
Always a great job.
Absolutely. Okay, we're going to accept the August 2025 Township Assistant Report as a matter of record. We have line item 3, unspecified donation disbursement from donation fund 9501.4 in the amount totaling $300 as follows. Speedway fuel gift cards for clients.
And this is just, we get the donations, and if it's an unspecified donation, anytime I disperse from that, it has to go before the board for acceptance.
Okay. So I'm going to accept the unspecified donation disbursement donation fund 9501.4 in the amount totaling of $300 as a matter of record. Number 4 is our petition to appeal for an increase above the maximum levy.
Okay, and that was in your study session
Yes.
packet. And that's regarding the levy, the excessive levy appeal of $600,000 that we're requesting for the 2026 budget for the general fund to pay for the retaining wall for the cemetery. And that's to prevent the further erosion and loss of graves. And we have it documented that there are graves that are no longer able to be located, and one included a Civil War soldier. So our appeal is to the DLGF. If there's no remonstrances from today for the next 10 days, then our appeal is that they would do this one-time excess levy where it would cover the cost of this retaining wall. And as I have explained before, and we've discussed it as a board, if somebody doesn't take action on this, more graves will be lost. And back, we have paperwork from 1968 when engineers were consulted with by a previous trustee, and they recommended, planting vegetation and such, but it continues to erode. And the history that I have read in the papers that we have is that the cemetery, we had more of a hill. Once they built the church and then that subdivision, it cut into that hill, which has caused the erosion. So what this is doing, if the board accepts it, well, you make a motion and accept it and vote on it. If you do vote to move forward with a petition to appeal for an increase above the maximum levy, once you approve that, it will, again, we have to wait the 10 days for any remonstrances from the overall budget, but then it'll get submitted to the Department of Local Government and Finance, and they will review it with all of the documents that I have regarding the necessity of having this wall.
Okay.
Anybody have any questions or comments about this? Comments?
Need a motion.
Make a motion to move forward with a petition to appeal for an increase above the maximum levy.
Second that motion?
All in favor? Aye. Motion carries 3-0. Okay, we're going to move on to resolution 2025-10, amending performance review provisions in employee manual.
In that resolution, and Adam can explain it a little bit further, but in our employee manual, the trustee is required to do an annual review on employees. At the time that was written, and we amended it, which was Adam and I, and we based it off of several other employee manuals, including the county. But since then, we have part-time employees or really backup employees. Some are seasonal, some are
As needed.
as needed. So I may have somebody who's a backup that maybe only comes and works twice out in a year. And it just didn't seem that, if they're hardly ever here to even have to perform an annual review. So Adam, you want to explain a little bit the resolution?
Sure, and this illustrates how diligent we're being in the process. Instead of just saying, forget about it, we're going and actually asking for approval to amend the employee manual to apply the regular review process only to employees who work at least 1 day per week on a regular basis. We thought that was minimal enough where you could provide a meaningful evaluation. Since we were amending it, I added another provision in there. Typically, reviews are done annually, so we spelled it out. The reviews may be done not less frequently than annually, just to foreclose a future trustee saying, every 5 years is enough, or whatever. We want the report to be meaningful and regular.
Makes sense. Okay. Any questions? Can I get a motion?
Make a motion for approval of resolution 2025-10, amending performance review provisions in employee manual.
Second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 3-0. We're going to move on to our citizen input. Any citizen input? Okay. Any and all other business that may come before the township board? Anyone? Okay, our next scheduled meeting will be here at the township board. The 2026 budget adoption meeting will be held Tuesday, October 14th, 2025 at 6 p.m. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 3-0. Motion adjourned.